I got one last thing for us here, and this
Let's
is like,
go.
yeah, this is a classic Chapo reading series, and I'm really glad,
Yes,
Ben and
sir.
Palma, that you guys are here for it, because this one is like, Bernie ain't never going away. Bernie's Mittens, the 2016 primary, the 2020 primary, it's never going away. We're gonna be stuck in this bullshit forever. This comes courtesy of a woman named Ingrid Sayer Ochi, writing in the San Francisco Chronicle. This is in their opinion section. Headline: San Francisco high school students get a lesson in subtle white privilege. Let's fucking go. This is a gem, guys. All right, so here he goes. 3 weeks ago, I processed the Capitol insurrection with my high school students. Rallying our inquiry skills, we analyzed the images of that. Sorry, just rallying our inquiry skills.
That's so patronizing.
This is the white woman equivalent of like,
we put our thinking hats on.
this is the white woman equivalent of Andre's Steakhouse, like tenting your fingers, like so we are going to analyze the intrinsic qualities of this white supremacist narrative. You dig?
So I have to mention too, like this woman is like, as a high school teacher, she's like a teacher the way like Liz Warren was a teacher, except that she did it in reverse. Like she's been in an administration capacity, she's been a principal, she's been a college professor. I think because she studied pedagogy and like teaching at a college level, you have to like go in and like teach sometimes, but that's like bullshit. She's not like a high school teacher. She's of the managerial class, and every once in a while you have to do like a couple years in the trenches, the way like people will do Teach for America to put on their like, you know, law school application or whatever. So just FYI, she's not just like, I've taught high school for 20 years and it's my job because I love teaching high school. She's a college professor and a freak.
Rallying our inquiry skills, we analyzed the images of that historic day. Images of white men storming through the Capitol, fearless and with no forces to stop them. I mean, except for that bullet from the Secret Service guy that stopped them.
There were some forces there.
There was some. They were stopped.
That hit a woman
some
though,
ways.
so it doesn't really.
Yeah,
mash.
right.
The several of them that died because their own bodies failed.
Yes.
Yeah, they were stopped by their circulatory system.
several of them tased their nuts so bad that they died.
The only thing that can stop white privilege is a heart attack.
So she says here, this, I said, is white supremacy. This is white privilege. It can be hard to pinpoint, but when we see it, we know it. It's like pornography in that regard. She goes here, across our Zoom screen, this is really funny. She goes,
Well, she meant that because she was beating off to it.
Across our Zoom screen, they affirmed with nods, thumbs up, and emojis of anger and frustration. I guarantee you all the kids in that Zoom lecture were just totally zoned out.
Yeah.
They were not paying attention to any of this bullshit.
They were on Robin Hood.
Yeah, imagine this dingbat just being like, is it Kamala beautiful? Like, yeah, these like 16-year-old kids are like, yeah, I love this class. I love this woman.
So she goes here, fast forward 2 weeks as we analyzed images from the inauguration, asking again, what do we see? We saw diversity, creativity, and humanity, and a nation embracing all of this and more. On the day of the inauguration, Bernie Sanders was barely on our radar. The next day, he was everywhere. What do we see? I asked again. We've been studying diversity and discrimination in the United States. My students were ready. What did they see? They saw a white man in a puffy jacket and huge mittens, distant not only in his social distancing, but in his demeanor and attire.
You know, like all her students weren't paying attention because she had to ask twice.
Like literally, like
She's like Francis Dollarhide. Do you see?
Just call him Jewish. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like she's shitting on him for wearing a big jacket, and it's like it was like 25 degrees and he's 80 years old. Is he supposed to wear like an Ella Emhoff knit top? Like, what the fuck do you want, you dingbat?
Yeah. Is he supposed to wear a piece of clothing that is 95% just stitching?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
just
is
patched together.
This is Bernie sitting.
Die like William Henry Harrison, Bernie, to show that you aren't the icon of white privilege.
Yeah,
Fucking idiot.
I just like she's got all her fucking high school students like duct taped to a wheelchair, and she's like, "This is Bernie sitting. Do you see? This is Bernie changing. Do you see?" She goes,
all of these people have, she's like, thumbs up. Like, what she's saying is that, no, they got me the first time with the cardboard cutouts. But like they're moving. I know they were there. But they're totally just patching in gifs of themselves now.
Because here, we took in the meaning of the day, the vulnerability of democracy, the power of ritual, traditions, and the peaceful transfer of power. We talked about gender and the possible meanings of the attire chosen by Vice President Kamala Harris, Dr. Jill Biden, the Biden grandchildren, Michelle Obama, Amanda Gorman, and others. We referenced the female warriors inspiring these women. The female warriors inspiring these women. The
like
colors
Samantha
of their
Power.
Yeah.
Xeno warrior princess.
Wonder Woman 84.
Madeleine Albright.
The color, the female warriors inspiring these women. The colors of their educational degrees and their monochromatic ensembles of pure power. The colors of their educational degrees and their monochromatic ensembles of pure power. And
Now that's a sentence.
And there, across all our news and social media feeds, was Bernie. Bernie memes, Bernie sweatshirts, endless love for Bernie. I puzzled and fumed as an individual as I strove to be my best teacher possible. What did I see? What did I think my students should see? A wealthy,
A man with swag.
a five-star pimp, a big dick player that everyone loves, a big dick pimp who everyone
Jesus Christ,
loves.
lady, it's not that fucking hard.
Also, if anything, he was dressed like a Vermont lesbian.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
He looked normal. What the fuck are you looking for?
I'm happy these people are back to saying like insane shit like I looked at Bernie and felt abused because for a while they're like with the meme everyone was like, "Oh, he's so harmless and cute." And I'm like, "No, like you people fucking hate this man. You destroyed
Yes,
this
and
person.
you know what?
Please go back to being psychotic about it because it's just that's accept
That's
what
when
you've
it reached
done."
the tipping point. You
Yes.
watched it reach the tipping point too, because first they had to be like, "Oh, like Bernie's cute," like, "Oh," and then they were like, "Oh wait, I forgot."
This is
that
literal
even though
violence.
even though we stole shit from him, everyone likes him and everyone hates us.
exactly,
They
exactly,
like him and they got mad. They thought it was cute
but
when he was
they need
harmless,
to
but then they're like,
attack
"Oh, he
him.
still has the heart of the people."
The need to attack
Then they
him
got
shows
fucking
that
mad.
they still know that people hate them. You know.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
I
And
bet,
we will
like,
always
like,
hate you. We will always
like
hate you. By the way, bomb the Bay
75%.
Area.
Yeah.
75% of the people who brought that bullshit against like Alex Morse or whatever, like they all shared like, "Oh my God, Bernie looks so cool in that fucking in those mittens. Where can I get those mittens or whatever? How can I knit those fucking mittens?" And like half of them like probably just voted for Warren or whatever. You know, it literally doesn't matter. Like none of that mattered. So whatever this woman is getting mad at in the end doesn't matter. Like it's not real. It's not like for real admiration of Bernie Sanders. It's just like some contrived bullshit that people like latched onto
and you're right.
because Bernie Sanders is fucking cool.
Yeah, and the other thing is like why even write this? Like you won, you defeated him, but like you're exactly right. The fact that it was like the
Sure
memes
winners.
and everyone was talking about it is just
Yeah.
because people like Bernie
They
and
can't
no one
even let him
likes
be
them.
liked. They can't even let him be liked. Yeah.
Well, it's literally that. It's because it like they don't just want to win. They want to believe that their legitimacy is based on being loved, based on capturing the heart of the people. But no, you won because you kneecapped the popular candidate, and he still has the heart of the people. So
Yeah, I'm sorry,
I
like,
hope this all turns to ash in your fucking mouth. Fuck you, you dumb bitch.
There we go.
Well, like when your
Yes, sir.
preferred candidate either like lied about being Native American or like being a leftist, right? Or like put weed smokers in jail for like 10 years in California, like you're like there's no winning narrative here. Like your fave is not going to be everyone else's.
yeah,
fave.
I mean, like
They see
compared
through all of that bullshit.
to Joe Biden, this is subtle white supremacy. It's like where do your fucking interests lie?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
and like the support. There is a huge psychological torment going on with these people because it's like the popular love of Kamala is so hollow and so fake. It's like she literally had to drop out before anyone voted. Like no one's.
She didn't even get a
woman.
single fucking vote.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like all the shit I'm seeing about like Yeah, oh, Doug is hot. Be like Doug. It's like no one gives a fuck about Doug or knows who he is. No one gives a fuck about her. Kamala, like, weirds every, like, normal American who isn't obsessed with this shit out because she's a weird person. Like, no, like, this support is completely hollow. If you have her run, you're going to lose to, like, maybe even Josh Holloway. I don't know.
Well, that's why they're trotting out her little fucking Zoomer Bushwick Parsons School of Design stepdaughter as some kind of way to, like, you know, give her relevance or whatever. You go back. I'm actually
which everyone also hates Ella Emhoff.
Yes,
people have just been fucking
I'm actually
dunking on her
glad
like crazy.
though that like people that like she now has a whatever platform, because all of the kind of youth fetishism that people have, they're like, oh, the Zoomers are gonna hate us, are gonna love us, they're gonna save us, they're gonna fix the world. Look how like cool and queer they are. And you go like, one of the things, the profiles or whatever on Ella Emhoff was her like putting up some kind of Instagram thing that was like, wear a mask because our lives are more important than your comfort. It's like, guess what? She's still just a Karen. Yes, she dyed her fucking armpit hair, but she's just the same fucking thing, because it's not about youth. It's not about generation. It is about her class position.
Yeah, like big newsflash here is that like people who say like, oh, the Zoomers are going to save us, like Ella Emhoff is like off 5 key bumps of ketamine. She's dissociating and doesn't know where she is. And Cole Emhoff was listening to Come Town on one AirPod like the entire fucking time. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think she's good or bad. She's just like, another. She's just like,
she's 21 and goes to fucking NYU. Who fucking cares?
She's she's a Bushwick Parsons School of Design girl whose dad is like a fucking Hollywood talent agent. But we know what she's going to be. Generation is a fucking joke. They just have different haircuts, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
when will people learn that there's no magic bullet to youth?
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same thing with like weepy millennial bullshit, where it's like the boomers took everything. It's like I've seen no indication that millennials would have done anything different if they're in the position of boomers. No, it's just it's like
anyway.
Why? Like, we make fun of generational shit a lot, but it's like at the end of the day, what do you think is more likely, that every generational is viewed with like a supernatural characteristic where they're either good because they're young, or they're evil because they were evil at the evil time, like the boomers, or do you think that it's like dictated by the conditions and politics of the time that they were like kind of powerless to prevent in any way? Just like how what the fuck have millennials done? Elect Obama? Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Occupy.
Well, I think what's going on here is like she's like I said, this is a classic Chapo reading series because it betrays so much about the person writing it and not the target they're attacking. And what's going on here is that she's like, oh, like a week later, people are still sharing Bernie memes. It's like, because no one gives a fuck that Joe Biden is president or likes him.
Also,
they're just resigned to like a fucking
to merit any meme. Like, he doesn't go out. He just like signs fucking papers and he gets like put in front of him because he has like 3 functioning brain cells, like the rest of us.
Yeah, the best that anyone feels about Biden being president, of like young people, or like the cohort of this country that these people all regard as like their fucking loyal child soldiers, is like mild relief that like maybe the worst possible outcome won't happen, but total resignation and despair in every other regard. And they think Bernie's popularity, or the fact that there is any still genuine affection for him among young people, is like throughout the entire campaign, it's like it's cheating. They think it's cheating that like he has like a genuine personability to him and some loyalty among the people who like and supported him, which they can't reverse engineer with their own stupid fucking memes. So they're like, I saw one asshole being like,
with their fake bisexual daughters.
This puts the Bernie meme to shame. And it was some DNC comms person. And it was just like a photoshopped image of Michelle Obama with a lightsaber. And I was like, cool. Yeah, this is going to do it.
10 hours of keys jangling. That guy was actually a Lincoln Project guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference? So I just want to get back to the article here. It just says here, what did I see? What did I think my students should see? A wealthy, incredibly educated, and privileged white man showing up for perhaps the most important ritual of the decade in a puffy jacket and huge mittens. I mean, in no way.
If that's the most important ritual of the decade, we should all kill ourselves.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, then there's no hope. Also, like, wealthy, highly educated, like, bitch, please.
That's a mirror, bitch.
Yeah.
You're looking at a fucking mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike Kamala Harris, who, you know, what do she think any of these people are? Like, did she think that, like, Joe Biden grew up in, like, on, like, a dirt floor? Like, no, they're all either, like, regular middle-class people or, like, rich people or, like, yeah, academic royalty like Kamala.
Yeah. I mean, the way you hear him tell it, yeah, like, Joe Biden grew up in fucking Guatemala, you know? And Bernie Sanders grew up in New York City, the greatest city in the world, number one city that has ever existed. So, like, of course, there's going to be, like, some sort of, like, quote-unquote, like, privilege, like, mismatch between the two, right? Even though, like, Joe Biden has always been, like, you know, I think Joe Biden hasn't been able to, like, capitalize on his, you know, innate privilege because, you know, we all know his finances have always been kind of crappy, even though he's always had the chance to, like, take advantage of his, like, position, you know? Like,
I mean, it's his brother's the one that's cashing out on his connections.
Yeah, his brother and his son are cashing out big time on that bullshit. And, like, he's taking the fucking L, you know, for the family. But yeah, it's so fucking.
So she goes on here.
Hear that?
She goes on here and she says, "I mean, in no way to overstate the parallels." Yeah, this is a tell right here. Someone's telling
I'm
you
about
that
to
they
say
don't
something
mean to.
so normal, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, in no way to overstate the parallels. Senator Sanders is no white supremacist insurrectionist.
Oh, God.
It's very charitable of her.
I literally, like, no one was there. You literally did that. So that,
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that Bernie Sanders fell out of a guard tower.
But he manifests privilege, white privilege, male privilege, and class privilege in a way that my students could see.
I wish
and
you would have
feel.
said Jewish privilege. It would have. We were so close to Jewish privilege being a thing she said. Fuck.
What
If she was
does
Puerto Rican, then
manifest
maybe
mean?
we could have heard
Literally.
that.
Commander
Unfortunately-
Ghazi, where are you?
Like, that's like white women who believe in, like, the moon or whatever talk about manifesting. That's like, it means conjuring in her fucking San Francisco language. He has conjured this forward. That's so stupid. Either, bitch, you don't know what that word means, or you're using it ambiguously on purpose. Either way, I hate you so much.
Well, it's also so
so
obvious. She's, like,
much.
pointing out something that is so easily seen. Like, of course, he manifests white privilege, male privilege, and class privilege because he's a white male senator. I mean, like, what the fuck were you expecting from someone like Bernie Sanders? Like, were you expecting him to be like some fucking pauper, like dressed like fucking Ella Emhoff? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, is he supposed to, like, show up to Congress with a fucking bindle over his shoulder, and, like, his big toe like coming out of his boot or something? Like, what the fuck is going on with your head, lady?
Well,
Like,
and she's trying to have it both
like,
ways.
this
She's
lady's
trying to have
like-
it both ways. Because she's saying, like, okay, he's not, like, dressed to the nines like he should to respect
he
this.
was dressed.
Like,
He did
thing.
underdress as usual.
Like,
Yeah, big time.
like, that's what he does.
People
He
liked him
doesn't
not
care.
because he
He's
was
an
dressed
old
well or
man.
whatever, because he has a natural and amiable personality. Like, he's someone you can naturally love, which is something that most Democrats could never ever be.
They're not human.
It's mind-boggling that you would fucking hold
But
that to someone and
additionally
be
to
like,
that,
"Ah,
she's
of
like,
course,
he's not
that's
dressing
privilege."
well, but also he's privileged and he has a lot of money. And it's like, well, which is it? Do you want him to wear a fucking top hat, or do you want him to, like, wear a fucking barrel and suspenders? Like, he just wears what he always wears because he's an old man that's been living in Vermont for eternity and it's cold outside. He's a practical fucking person. He has, like, basic human sort of impulses. Somehow he has retained something human about himself despite working in politics. And that's why people like him.
Yeah, I agree with what Pol Pot said about academics now.
Yep.
Like, what has this woman learned that's of any use to anyone ever? This is like...
How to annoy people.
God.
That's very useful, actually. I think...
I learned how to do that for free.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't need to go to college for that shit.
So here's what she learned. She goes, two more paragraphs here. It says, when you see privilege, you know it. I told them weeks before. Yet, when they saw Senator Bernie Sanders manifesting privilege,
I hate it when someone does that.
Which is like fucking like Bushwick witch language. We're going to manifest
Amber,
our-
she's going to teach her students to hex Bernie Sanders.
God.
We're hexing privilege, y'all.
Mom, can I have some period blood for this project we're doing?
we need to throw our moon blood on Bernie Sanders.
When they saw Senator Bernie Sanders manifesting privilege when seemingly no one else did, I struggled to explain that disparity. I am beyond puzzled. Okay, pause. Just stop there. I'll just you just end the article there.
You are
I am
goddamn
beyond
right about that.
I am beyond puzzled. as to
Y'all,
why
I'm
so
barely
many-
functioning. I am so stupid, you guys, and even I can see it.
I am beyond puzzled as to why so many are loving the image of Bernie and his gloves. Sweet, yes, the gloves, knit by an educator, so Bernie. Not so sweet, the blindness I see of so many, Bernie included, to the privileges Bernie represents. I don't know many poor or working class or female or
up.
struggling to be taken seriously, folks. Again, stop right there.
Yeah,
Just say,
stop
I
right
don't
there.
know
Stop
many
right there.
poor or
Yeah.
working class
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, what does she mean there? She like it just like she's referencing like working class people. She knows what
This
just, like,
lady-
the Grubhub drivers that she screams at.
She calls.
What does
she
working
calls
class mean
911
to her?
on homeless encampments in Oakland. Guaranteed.
Yeah, what is-
Guaranteed. Put money on that shit. Go on betdsi.com/cometown20 and catch that fucking promo on that bullshit.
What working class to her means what, like between $200,000 and $300,000 a year?
I don't know many. I don't know. I don't know many poor or working class or female or struggling to be taken seriously folk. I love that the last one of all these class privilege categories
No.
are the struggling
Is that-
to be taken seriously
Same
folk.
thing.
Those are
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
I
underprivileged
don't know
people in
any
America.
people who would show up to the
What?
46th president's inauguration like that. It's kind of
Is
fucked
that-
up. They at
that's-
least show up with a QAnon t-shirt.
That's the new mentally disabled term. Struggling to be taken
Yeah.
seriously.
Seriously.
I dress like that cartoon where Daffy Duck was put on all fours and given a daffodil for a tail.
Are you talking about Ella Emhoff again? She goes, are struggling to be taken seriously folk who would show up at the inauguration of our 46th president dressed like Bernie.
Well,
Unless
guess
those
what?
same...
Nobody could show up because it was like a fucking lockdown situation with like armed guards.
Yeah,
escape
Bernie
from
was the
DC.
only guy. Bernie was the only guy there who's never been to a party at Ed Buck's house.
They were the only people dressed like Bernie, unless those same folk had privilege, which they don't. Ingrid Sayer Ochi is a former UC Berkeley and Mills College professor, ex-Oakland Unified School District principal, and current San Francisco Unified School District high school teacher. Ingrid
What a career.
Sayer
What an
Ochi,
illustrious
you win the
journey.
Logitech op-ed of the week. A new gaming mouse is on its way to you, ma'am.
I just love that. Like literally, she so tells on herself. I don't understand why everyone likes this person. Like, yeah, because there's something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah,
There's something fucking wrong with you.
The one Democrat who's been like, yeah, maybe we need like sustained, stimulus checks for the American people after not getting one for months and months and months, and like the current one being delayed, weeks and weeks, and the next one being delayed and also like lowballed and like skimmed off the top of, It's just crazy how the American people would love this person. I seriously, it boggles the fucking mind.
And
Don't they
I
know
would-
he's
Anybody
white?
love Bernie.
I would be more disturbed by all this stuff about how, like, this is what I taught my students that they should see when they look at Bernie Sanders. I would be more disturbed by that if I wasn't 1,000% sure that literally all of her students hate her and, like, absorb nothing from
I
any
found,
of her classes.
I found
All right,
a picture of her. She absolutely looks like one of the she looks like a teacher, like just like the worst teacher you've ever had.
Gerbil
so
face.
annoying.
Gerbil
face.
just a fucking Jackson. Be mindful of the pencils. Like, oh my god, I fucking. Yeah.
She's
Class are
literally
all
she's the
leveling
kind of
up on
teacher.
Fortnite.
She's the kind of teacher who kids in her class have peed their pants because she won't let them go to the bathroom unless they say, "May I go to the bathroom?" instead of "Can I go to the bathroom?"
Of course. Well, I mean, she's working basically in Silicon Valley, so she's just taking a cue from like Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking a cue from from like the Google. Not even like a good labor thing. Like she wants to have like leftist bona fides, but it's just like I love the Alphabet Union so much. They're such an inspiration. You know.
Did I think like after hearing this article, I think 100% they ran this because they knew it would piss people off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
no one who like edited this was like, this is good. They were
Yeah,
like,
no.
find
Yeah.
me the most annoying woman in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the Bay Area. This is the Bay Area. Don't
Yeah.
pin this one on us, Felix.
Don't
pin this one up.
besmirch the beautiful city of New York.
Hey,
the tri-state area of California.
The state of Jefferson,
Nevada,
Oregon.
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tri-states.
Yeah.
Many 3 states are next to each other.
Yeah,
Just the
eventually-
same way that Bernie is adjacent to white supremacy.
Eventually,
There we
Gacked Up
go.
Gacked Up Gavin will eventually lose his grip on power, and California will segment into 3 major states: state of Jefferson, which we all know and love, Northern California, and Southern California. So yeah, Felix, you were totally right. That is the tri-state area.
Yeah, NorCal will be run by the Vagos.
Yep. Yes, sir. SoCal
okay.
MS-13.